Yet another question. This is a long one, by the way. It has consolidated cash flow statement, no doubt, but it also has a lot of other consolidation related items and adjustments. Requirement: using Exhibit 1, draft an explanatory note to the directors of sugar addressing the following. How the initial 40% investment in flour company should be accounted for in the consolidated statement of financial position at 1st of July 2007 before the additional investment. How the additional purchase of flour's shares on 1st of July 2007 should be accounted for in the consolidated financial statements, including an explanation of how goodwill should be calculated at 1st of July 2007 using Exhibit 1. ठीक है, acquisition of flour company. कौन पढ़ेगा? Gautam, read this acquisition of flour company.
Requirement 1, acquisition of flour company. Flour company has 10 million shares in issue. A 40% shareholding in flour company was purchased several years ago at the cost of $10 million. The investment gave Sugar and Co. significant influence in Flour Co. Sugar purchased additional 3 million shares, 30% shareholding of ordinary shares of Flour on 1st of July 2007. The consideration for the 30% was in two parts. One is cash and other is one for two share exchange when the market price of sugar was $6 each. In Flour Co. individual financial statements, the net asset increased by 12 million between the two acquisition dates. The carrying amount of Flour Company, so net assets on 1st of July was as follows. Intangible assets 6 million, 6,781, which is in $1 million. PPE 18,076, cash and cash equivalent 1,234, other current assets 9,650, total carrying amount of net assets is 35,741.
The carrying amount of net assets at 1st of July 2007 were equal to the fair values except for land which had a fair value of 6 lakh above the carrying amount. Sugar Group values NCI at fair value and share price of flour company at 1st of July 2007 was 3.8. This share price should be used to value NCI and the 40% investment in flour company at this date. Goodwill at 1st of July 2007 was correctly calculated at 22,59,000 and has been correctly accounted for in the consolidated statement of financial position as a part of intangible assets. ठीक है, अब first part of the question is how will you account for the initial 40% investment? What is that initial 40% investment? It creates a significant influence. So the other entity is your associate company. Am I right? Okay. Now, if the other entity is your associate company, what should you do? You should use the equity method of accounting. They have mentioned that the net assets had increased by 12 million between the two acquisition dates. So it has increased by 12 million. So that 12 million indicates profit of the company
Yes,
in
sir.
post-acquisition period.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
share of investor in post-acquisition profit of associate 12 million ka 40% करो, you will get 412 सा 40%, 4.8 million है ना. That will be added to the cost of investment. 10 million में 4.8 million add करो. The value of the investment on 1st of July 2007 will be 14.8 million. ठीक है. Now, total carrying amount of net assets आपको दिया है and now there is new investment of another 30%. तो what should you do here? Describe the process to me कि करना क्या है, then calculation I can show you. I'm not so much concerned about the calculation as I'm concerned about the concept here.
So
So it's a
this
step
process,
acquisition.
Let's all write the paper together.
नहीं
One
मतलब
raise your hand.
we'll find the goodwill then.
How?
So like we'll
first they have asked only for the what to do with the existing investment of holding of 4 million shares. So first we have to find out the carrying amount of investment in flour company,
Which is
and
14.8.
which is 14 for 8, and they have given the share price. So the fair value of the investment in flower company will be 4 million into that share price. So the
Correct.
difference will be the gain in investment, which will be taken to operating section of statement of profit and loss.
Operating.
Yeah, operating section of.
Change in fair value of, okay. Should it go to operating section? Change in fair value or investing or financing? Where should it go?
Sir, it will be in
Change in fair
investing
value
activity.
wouldn't go anywhere in cash flow.
No, I'm talking about P&L, na?
P&L, it
Hmm.
will be financing, not financing, investing.
Investing activity.
Investing. Okay, sorry, investing.
Activity ना ऑपरेटिंग में नहीं जाएगा. Now whatever
Hmm.
is the difference, ठीक है, that difference always goes to P&L. So you will
Yeah.
remeasure the already existing equity interest at fair value. Then you will add the fair value of consideration paid. Correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Add the fair value of consideration paid. That will give you the total 70% ka value. To that, you will add fair value of non-controlling interest at date of acquisition, subtract fair value of net assets of subsidiary at acquisition date, you will get goodwill. Now, this is the general approach to goodwill calculation. Now, in this case, I believe goodwill has been given to you na 22,59,000.
इसमें
Yeah.
बैकवर्ड होगा
Yes,
आई
sir.
थिंक क्योंकि गुडविल तो हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है पीछे जाके कैश कंसिडरेशन का
So there
अमाउंट
is some
निकालेंगे
element of this which is missing. Tell me what is missing in
Yes.
the entire calculation?
Cash element is missing.
कैश कैश
Consideration paid, which is missing, so we have to calculate consideration
Cash
paid.
consideration is missing. Is the share consideration, can we calculate that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How will you calculate that?
There are 10 million shares in Flower Limited total.
Hmm.
So we are
Reverse
acquiring 3 million
calculation.
out of it.
3
So we
million
are issuing one for every two shares. So that gives 1.5 million shares are being exchanged. But in value of 6
9
per
million,
share.
sir. It's 9 million.
Into 6 करना पड़ेगा ना. Sugar company
Right.
share price is $6.
6.
Right.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So see in this question, everything else is given to you. Just the cash consideration is not given to you. है ना. Goodwill दे दिया है आपको. And they are saying that goodwill has been correctly calculated. Expectation is how the additional purchase of flour company's share should be accounted for in sugar company's consolidated financial statements, including an explanation of how goodwill should be calculated at 1st of July. So, although goodwill is given to you, you have to explain how goodwill is calculated. You will have to describe, remeasure the already this equity interest at fair value. ठीक है? Have a look. Remeasure existing equity interest at fair value. Carrying amount of 40% investment 14.8. Fair value is 15.2. Difference goes to P&L. Then fair value of consideration paid to acquire subsidiary. Cash consideration is not known. है ना? This is question mark. Share consideration you calculated 9 million. Fair value of NCI on acquisition date. 10 million का 30% into 3.8. Why 3.8? Because 3.8 is the price per share, right? 3.8 is the, कहाँ पे है 3.8?
In the last para.
इसमें नीचे एक लास्ट पैरा है
Yeah. No, no.
So that is 3.8.
Before that.
हाँ. So वो आप multiply करेंगे, you will get 11.4. How do you calculate goodwill on acquisition? Fair value of interest retained 152,000,000. Fair value of consideration paid, let it be X plus 90 lakhs. Add fair value of NCI 1 crore 14 lakhs. Less fair value of net assets of subsidiary at acquisition date. Where did we get this number from? 36341,000? ये दिया था कहीं पे?
That is given in the net assets is given, and then
Yes, sir. The
adjustment for
extra
600,000 is given
extra
separately.
ones.
35,741 is the carrying amount of net assets. What adjustments were done to this?
Fair value
600,000
adjustment line.
Fair value of land.
Any deferred tax related adjustment that has to be done here?
No, sir.
It
No,
is
sir.
not mentioned, so we are not considering it.
नॉट मेंशन
Not given in any way.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Goodwill on acquisition is given to you. The missing figure is 30 lakhs, which is the amount of cash consideration. आपको consolidated cash flow statement में यही काम में आएगा, right? Okay. Now, using the goodwill figure, calculate the cash paid to acquire control of flour company, and a brief explanation of how that cash should be accounted for in the consolidated statement of cash flow. वो कर दिया हमने. How should that be accounted for in consolidated cash flow? 30 million cash paid.
Investing activity.
Investing activity,
Net of cash and cash equivalents.
net of
Net of
cash,
cash and cash
cash from
equivalent
subsidiary.
of the subsidiary acquired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 12 marks using the pre-populated spreadsheet response option and exhibits 1, 2, and 3 update the draft extracts of consolidated statement of cash flow to adjust for the acquisition of additional flour company shares and to amend for any errors or omissions made by the directors. ठीक है. अब asset acquisition and share issue plus there is further information. वरदान ये पढ़ तो एक बार. Further information.
Further information, the group's consolidated financial statements have been correctly completed by the financial accountant, with the exception of the consolidated statement of cash flows. The financial accountant has begun to draft the statement of cash flows, but has not yet taken into account the additional 30% shareholding acquired in Floor Company or the information regarding assets acquisition and share issues. There are also some errors. The draft extracts have been included in the spreadsheet response option.
Okay. The group's consolidated financial statements have been correctly completed by the financial accountant. So, यहाँ पे भी क्या problem है? It's only the consolidated cash flow that is not prepared. ठीक है. The financial accountant has begun to draft the statement of cash flow, but has not yet taken into account the additional 30% shareholding acquired, which you have also handled right now. And you have calculated the amount of cash consideration. There are some errors. The draft extracts have been included in the spreadsheet response option. Flour company was correctly consolidated from 1st of July. Sugar group also purchased various assets. There were no disposals or impairment of intangible assets during the year, but amortization of 3.5 million had been deducted from profit from operations. The only addition to property, plant and equipment during the year were as a result of acquisition of flour company. The group disposed of some plant and machinery which had a carrying amount of 6.37 million. They were sold at a loss on disposal of 2 million. The financial accountant included the loss on disposal of 2 million on the plant and machinery as a cash outflow from investing activity in the draft statement of cash flow. ठीक है. So यहाँ पे what is the error that has happened? Can you describe the mistake to me?
The amortization that has been deducted.
वो वाला नहीं, second वाला बताओ. What is the mistake?
The loss is deducted in cash flow statement.
Yes, sir.
When in fact
Which had been added to.
you should write proceeds of disposal, है ना?
Yes, sir.
How much are the proceeds of disposal? Carrying amount of 6.37 million, loss of 2 million. How much would you have received on disposal?
4.37
4.3,
million.
4.7.
4.37 million. आपने लिख दिया 2 million. So that adjustment has to happen. Then amortization of 3.5 million had been deducted from profit from operations. That means this is a non-cash expense which will have to be added back.
Yes, sir.
यहाँ पे किया है उन्होंने नॉन कैश एक्सपेंस? नहीं, they haven't done it. But see, they have not even asked you operating activity, है ना? They have only asked you investing and financing, and they have asked you to consolidated balance sheet. Okay, ठीक है. Then sugar company purchased 25% equity interest in butter company at 1st of October on 1st of October 2007 for 5 million cash, which gave significant influence. Butter company did not pay a dividend during the year ended 30th June. Sugar company did not pay any dividends during the year. ठीक है. अब sugar company purchased 25% interest in butter company for 5 million cash, which gave significant influence. Where should it go?
Investing.
Investing activities.
Investing activity. In addition to shares issued to purchase flour company, sugar company issued some ordinary $1 shares for cash during the year ended 30th June 2008. The financial accountant was waiting for confirmation of the value of shares issued for cash, so included the nominal value of the shares in the draft statement of cash flow. ठीक है, यहाँ पे क्या करना है?
They have issued some shares for cash, so we have to find out how much was
Finance.
issued and then include in the financing activity.
Okay, and यहाँ पे 20 has become 23, 18,000 has become 33,600, all share premium. So how much should be included?
So we have to take into account the shares issued for acquisition of floor as well. So we have to put a T-shaped account and then find out.
Okay, ठीक है. Uh, let's come to that part. And ये pension scheme जो है Exhibit 4 has got nothing to do with the pre-populated spreadsheet because they have said use only exhibits 1, 2 and 3. ठीक है. Let's start with the adjustments one by one. यहाँ पे let's look at the PPE account. What is the opening balance of PPE? Opening balance of PPE is 52,818. Closing balance is 55,124. यहाँ पे opening balance, यहाँ पे closing balance. Now you acquired a subsidiary during the year. जो सब्सिडियरी अक्वायर किया उसका पीपीई वॉज 18076. सो ऑन द डेबिट साइड ऑफ दिस पीपीई अकाउंट यू राइट पीपीई ऑफ सब्सिडियरी 18076. Correct? Okay. Any other adjustment with respect to PPE that happened during the year?
Fair
Revalue.
value measurement 600
Uplifts of
1,000.
fair value.
Fair value increase of 6 lakh. PPE account debit to revaluation surplus. यहाँ पे आ गया revaluation surplus. ठीक है. Now an asset with a carrying amount of 6.37 million was sold at a loss of 2 million. Entry will be bank account debit, loss on disposal account debit to property, plant and equipment. Bank account debit
4 point.
4.37, loss on disposal 2, PPE will be credited with 6.37. ठीक है. Right? And have they given you the depreciation figure anywhere?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. चेक करो, इधर कहीं दिया है? Okay.
No, sir.
Let's go through this once again. नहीं दिया है कहीं पे भी. Okay. Was any new PPE acquired during the year?
No information regarding that.
No, actually there is
Sir,
some.
the only addition they have given, sir, there. Only addition of.
The only additions to PPE during the year were as a result of acquisition of flour company. So no more entries on the debit side of this account. Correct. This is complete. You have recorded bank. मतलब you have recorded the proceeds of disposal, you have recorded loss on disposal, you had your closing balance. The balancing figure on the credit side is depreciation. Where will this help you? Ideally, it would have helped you if you were preparing operating activity also. है ना? But यहाँ पे नहीं दिया है आपको operating activity. Fair enough. Then intangible. Intangible asset का opening balance 15,865, closing balance 33,456. Write that down. 15,865, 33,456. ये एक आपने लिख दिया. Then the subsidiary that you acquired, it had an intangible of 6781. ठीक है. Intangible of subsidiary is 6781. ठीक है. Now in the acquisition process there was goodwill that came into existence of 22 lakh 59. It will get debited to, again you are writing all the intangibles in one place, so you will write 2259 here on the debit side. Correct. Now what is the amortization that took place during the year? 3.5 million.
Sorry,
ठीक है.
3.5.
So credit में लिखो 3,500. Balancing figure has to be cash paid for new intangibles acquired. Is that right?
Yes,
ठीक.
sir.
So यहाँ पे investing activity में disposal of PPE you have written as -2,000. The actual, so and by the way observe this, You have written it as minus 2000 when in fact it should be plus 2000. Correct? मतलब एक तो 2000 itself is wrong. But if at all you had to do something, disposal should have been shown with a positive sign. You have shown it with a negative sign of minus 2000. What do you want at the end? You want 4370 at the end. Correct? So adjustment कितने का होगा? 6370 का होगा. Are you with me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then when you acquire the intangible, that is an outflow 12051. Correct?
Correct, sir.
Then in investing activity, there is acquisition of butter.
Yes, sir.
How much
As
is
you said,
it?
5
5
million
million
cash.
cash.
5 million cash. ठीक है. So write that down as an outflow and acquisition of flour company. कैसे दिखाएंगे उसको?
So the
Only the
cash
cash
consideration
component should be shown.
will be shown.
So 30 lakhs minus the cash and cash equivalent of the subsidiary minus 1234 है ना? So you will write the
Yes, sir.
net amount. That will be your investing activity. Acquisition of flour company 3000 minus 1234 1766. Correct?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So now you will have net cash used in investing activity 14447. The number that they had only written 2000 here है ना, बाकी कुछ भी नहीं लिखा था. They had only written 2000 here, which was wrong. Now you have gotten the correct number. Now investing activity तो हो गया. Let's think about financing activity. You issued your own shares in the process of acquisition of the other company है ना. And what was the amount of share consideration issued? ठीक है. Opening balance of share and share premium is how much? Opening balance, if you observe, is 20,000 plus 18,000, which is 38,000. ठीक है. Then fresh shares issued. कितना fresh shares आपने issue किया?
1.5 million.
1.5 million into 6 है ना, because 6 is the fair value, so that is the value at which it was issued. So fresh shares issued is basically 3000, that is the number of shares acquired, into this is the exchange ratio into 6 9000. The total balance of share and share premium should have been 38,000 plus 9,000, that is 47,000. Correct? How
Yes, sir.
much is the balance at the end of the year? 23,000 प्लस 33,600 कितना है?
53.
56,600 है ना, 56 ही होगा ना. The total balance is 56,600. Where does the difference go? What is the difference? The difference is cash received from fresh issue of shares है ना. You opening था 38, you issued 3,000 shares. ठीक है. Sorry, you acquired 3,000 shares. In exchange you issued 1,500, but one share was fair value, it had a fair value of 6. So the balance of share capital plus premium would have gone up by 9,000. Total हो जाता 47,000. ठीक है. Actual balance at the end of the year is 56,600 है ना. What is cash received from fresh issue? 56,600 minus 47,000, that is 9,600. ये कहाँ पे जाएगा? This will go under financing activity.
Financing
Seats
activities.
from fresh issue, you have written 1,500. The total is 9,600. So 8,100 का adjustment. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. And then dividend paid. ये एक नया मतलब this is something new. NCI opening is 12914. ठीक है. Now, during the year, you acquired this company, whatever its name is,
Floor.
flour
Floor.
company. What was the value of its NCI? Tell me. 40% investment at 3.8 ना?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
कितना आएगा बताइए?
11,400.
11.2.
400. 400, 200 कितना आता है?
4.
400. 400.
400.
ओपनिंग बैलेंस 12914. ठीक है. आप बोल रहे हो 11,400 प्लस प्रॉफिट एट्रीब्यूटेबल टू एनसीआई 9162. How much is how much should be the total? The total should be 33,476. How much is the total? 30,152. Where will the What is the difference likely to be? The difference
Dividend
is likely to be
paid.
dividend paid by subsidiary company to
Good.
non-controlling shareholders, है ना? And non-controlling shareholders are not in the group; they are people outside the group. So dividend paid by subsidiary to holding is not included in consolidated cash flow, but all transactions with outsiders are included in consolidated cash flow. तो ये 3324 कहाँ जाएगा? 3324 will be shown as an outflow dividend paid to NCI. ठीक है. Opening balance 12914. Add NCI of flour company 11400. Profit attributable to NCI 9162. Closing balance should be 33476, but closing balance is 30,152. The difference is 3324. That is dividend paid to non-controlling interest. इधर outflow करके दिखा दो, you will get net cash generated from financing activity. सिर्फ इतना ही रेक्टिफाई करने को बोला था, करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
तो कर दिया आपने, ऑपरेटिंग भी रेक्टिफाई कर दिया, फाइनेंसिंग सॉरी ऑपरेटिंग नहीं, यू रेक्टिफाइड इन्वेस्टिंग ऑल्सो, यू रेक्टिफाइड फाइनेंसिंग ऑल्सो. हाउ मेनी मार्क्स डिड यू गेट हियर? यू गॉट अ गुड
Well,
12 मार्क्स हियर. ठीक है. इसमें एक सब पार्ट डी भी था, but that related to this pension scheme which has got nothing to do with the consolidation वाला part, so I have not taken it up here. ठीक है. Now are you getting a hang of consolidated cash flow?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir, but like one place पे थोड़ा missing हो रहा है, but yeah, that will be
Which is
fine.
why we are doing it together, so that if you once do it on your own, you will get the desired level कि यार चलो at least the same question I can repeat. After that you can take up maybe one more question for practice on your own. ठीक है.
यही
I
क्वेश्चन
have a
दोबारा
small
करो.
doubt.
बोलो.
So when we are taking share capital and share premium, it is always to be taken together, or we can have separate accounts.
We can, but see here, doing that is not doing any value addition to our analysis, right?
Okay.
What are we interested in? We are interested in knowing कि in financing activity, how much was the new cash inflow? So we
Yes,
did
sir.
it together. I mean, and there is no way to also separate it out na, every time. Like,
Yes.
current tax, deferred tax, I added up together. I can add up share capital, share premium also because nobody is asking me the accounting entry in this case. They are only interested in knowing how much more cash was raised in this process.
So wherever possible, like I can just club accounts, like you said, current tax and deferred tax and
Yeah,
share.
yeah.
Okay, okay, sir.
In
Thank you.
most cases in your paper, if current tax, deferred tax come together, club them. Don't do those separately. ठीक है? Are you with me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's anyone who has absolutely any question in this one? है कोई? करण जी?
No, sir.
No? Okay.